Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about the case of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home. We are covering part 4 of the Daniel Martell interview, the stepdad of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. After sitting through hours of explanations, excuses, corrections, side stories, and strange answers, and the never ending attempt for Daniel to look like the hero of the story, the interview did not clean things up. It has only made it worse. And in part 4 tonight, this is the doozy where Daniel gets really, really messy with this timeline. And we are going to go over that on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
Sing it with me.
They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearl. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Love the chickens.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Thank you so much. Angel kisses. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you, mirrors. Appreciate you, my love. Who's ready?
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff,
I know,
just the
right?
real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Welcome and thank you. Oh, Granny Janie ain't what she used to be. Well, hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in thy world, and you chose to be right here. And your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is May 13th, 2026. It is currently 8:22 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan case out of Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Jack and Lilly has been missing since May 2nd, 2025. We just reached a year on these darling little babies. And I believe the RCMP is closer than ever before, but we still got to stay on it, guys. We still got to stay on it. Got to keep the healthy pressure. And there's still creators out there that's, keeping pressure. And I really appreciate every single one of them. Even if we disagree on this case, we need that pressure, the awareness for Jack and Lilly. So, guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share the live stream out, copy that link and hit it, hit the share button, drop it in any of your favorite social media. Also, with the hype, I realized you have to do it after the live stream, right? But I believe you can only do it on your phone. It's got to be on a mobile device, I'm pretty sure. So if you don't have a hype button, that may be why. I was looking at some of that stuff. So good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Nurse, thank you so much for becoming a member, my dear. Really appreciate that, my darling. Appreciate you, my darling. I love you, Boba. You rarely ever see those. Thank you so much, my dear. Really appreciate you. And angel kisses. Appreciate you, my darling. 1 month. Thank you so much, Angel. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your support, my love. How you doing, darling? And well, thank you so much, love. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, darling. Thank you so much, my love. I appreciate you very, very much. So hopefully tonight we're going to get through the rest of this. This is part 4 in this. I hadn't been doing as many Jack and Lilly Sullivan live streams, obviously, as I once was. And we've been kind of really heavy on the Nancy Guthrie case. But I can't let Daniel know in Malaya, and more importantly, Jack and Lilly, that we forgot about them. Because we sure haven't. We sure haven't. Hello, Miss Sherry. Good to see you, Leslie, Brandy, Enoch, Connie, Miss Lolo. Good to see you, Wendy, Tina, Teresa, Miss Kwani. Let's see here. Who else do we got up in here? Miss Peggy. Hello, Brandy, always in Indy. Teresa, good to see you, my friend. Sadie, hello. Leslie, always keeping it real. And let's see who else do we got. Enoch, good to see you, my friend. Tina, good to see you. Hello, Peggy. Good to see everyone. Daniel is just confessing to his crimes, not about Jack and Lily. I do agree. Daniel says he wants to help out the case, but he wants to help out himself, and that's pretty clear, if you ask me. Pretty clear. So everyone, get yourself. We got, I think, about an hour and a half of this left. So get comfy, get your favorite snack, your favorite beverage, take your blood pressure medication. Okay, don't forget about that, and all of that, because he, he only gets crazier. This part. Let me pull it up. Gotta find out where I was yesterday. I think I'm pretty close to where it was. 7:36, 8:36, 9:36. So I think we're a little bit ahead right here.
Most times, a lot, in a sense. They don't want to feel like they're betraying a relative, family member, sister, and stuff like
I'm
that
pretty sure it
by
was like right here.
speaking out.
Hello,
Because I'm
Mama
sure a
Bear.
lot of people, if they were to speak out the truth, they would be very muchly take the wrath of their family that
me
would
just
be
listen to
pissy
it.
at them, and you know what I mean. Like nobody,
I just want to make sure
stuff like that. We're private. It's very
we gotta
live.
find out where we were.
Because when he was originally, like, meaning I'm the one that literally said, "Hey, DT, do you want to, maybe cover the Jack and Lily case, right?"
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
Here.
that. That's when I still watched YouTube.
Yeah, and so then, but then anyway, so it's
Also, speaking of still watching YouTube, I have a poll down below there. Let me know if you think Daniel is still watching us right now, or if you think Daniel is watching us right now. Poll is down below. Click that if you think Daniel is still watching us, or if Daniel's still watching us. You know what I mean? Even though he says he does not. No, no, sorry, Bob. He's got one day a week of work cut out for him and some math smokers to do. So, you know, that's all I'll say about that. Hello, Miss Susie Q. How are you?
it's kind of like, so I had to literally scroll all the way back up, and there was about, I don't know, 6 or 7 clips, or I think it was, that I had said. Now, what I was doing with at the time, and even though I had apologized to Haley because, I mean, I did what I did. I thought I was putting it in good hands to give him a fair value of what, like what we're hearing about how Malaya's
We
been
know
acting,
Janie does too.
right? And but I wanted to have him to have a fair picture of the case, meaning from stuff with you, from stuff.
Yeah, Miss Belinda, she got rid of her attorney. She got rid of her attorney today, by the way. And I think that's probably, I'm kind of, if you've been keeping up with the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case, I'm kind of glad that she's moving forward. Just my opinion. Justin had to double take the poll. Yeah.
Malaya, from stuff that the family members are saying. So take this information, look at it, and then just give an honest opinion about what you think. I just wanted it to be a fair assessment. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I wanted him to kind of like hear what was kind of happening behind the scenes, because we're not hearing from Malaya at all. But when
Hold on, let me just see here.
like I said, me and Haley,
I wonder if has DT been covering Jack and Lily? I don't know if he's been covering Jack and Lily. Lately, DT. No. I think I wonder if he's kind of changed his mind on Jack and Lily's case. I know he used to. I used to go in there when he would cover, but I guess I haven't seen him covering it, so I guess that's why I haven't been in there. Nonsense DM was arrested, to my knowledge. Yeah, yeah. That I mean, it's kind of hard, to he might just want to let the court play out, if you will. But yeah, he might want to. Not he might want to. It's just really hard to cover someone that has 2 counts of SA, right? Oh, the emoji is working now. Yes, ma'am.
Like I said, I've talked for me, Belinda and Haley, because Haley, I know that I do want to know.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. We all evolve in cases. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just can't see till you can see or whatever. I don't know. So we all evolve in cases.
No. Because
So does the police.
you said that those were Haley's car keys. On that, remember the picture that I thought was like a phone, and you said it was some sort of lighter or something?
Yeah, that was the
Then there was
inside
the-
internals of an electric plasma lighter.
Right, but then there was the keys that were up in the
Yeah,
corner.
those could have been my Dodge Journey keys because they came from a Dodge vehicle.
Well, because I was gonna say, I was like, I think Haley would know if those were her keys.
Okay, this is exactly where we left off yesterday, speaking about the Dodge Journey keys. And I am of the firm belief that 1,000%, I believe the neighbors did not want to be any part of this at all. Miss Dolores, I finally recovered from the flu. Thank God. Thank God. Yes, Belinda got Darla. Yeah, she's looking for a new attorney. Yeah. Yeah. The keys were muddy. It's I think we're going to be shocked, but not shocked whenever charges come down in Jack and Lily's case, because I firmly believe that they will. I think we're going to be not as shocked about the night it happened, but I think we are going to be shocked about excuse me, about how deep the abuse was, in my opinion. I think we're just not going to even, I don't think we even comprehend how much the abuse was with Jack and Lily. Hey, Gypsy, good to see you. Robini, Nurse, Connie, Green Eyes. That's why I'm so passionate. Yeah. Yeah. Susie Q. Yeah, I think we're going to not be. I think we. I mean, I think we might be somewhat shocked about what brought it on, but I think it's was financial. I think probably the kids were not going to bed that night. Malaya says they were hyper, and I think there was fighting going on, and someone snapped, or they may have given him something. Something like that. But I think we're going to be shocked about how much control and abuse there was in that home. Thank you, Emin. Thank you so much, my dear.
Yeah, those could have been my because
Like
they're from a Dodge.
Okay, so
and I used to have a Dodge Journey.
but why? Go ahead.
So looking.
If you had a set of keys at your house of, okay, First of all, tell me this. You have a set of keys of a Dodge Journey that you used to have. If you don't have that car anymore, Daniel, then why do you have those keys? Why do you have those keys? That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right, because usually you, I don't know, give the keys over if you trade it in, or if you, in your case, junk it, or whatever. Why do you have your old Dodge Journey keys? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 1000%. 1000%. But if I have a set of keys at my house and you could show me a key of any of my cars that I've ever had, and I can tell you which car key that went to, right? I mean, usually it has the brand of the car on it, but you know which one's your car keys. Come on now, Daniel. It's similar to the Sebastian case. Incident happened at night hours to plan a cover-up, get rid the morning call of missing persons, no evidence. Yep. Yep. So I'm finding that interesting now that he's saying, even though he blamed, I don't know if it was Malaya's brother or something.
Looking back, those could have possibly been my keys.
Okay, so right, so regardless,
but at the time,
It's ridiculous.
I should have clarified all of that. Those could have been my keys because they're from a Dodge.
and then, you know what?
And Haley's boyfriend drove a Dodge. So looking back, those, like, and maybe I thought at the time this is a good thing to talk about, because we did.
Okay, we're gonna fast forward through this little part right here.
Especially at this,
Over this little part. This night. We're almost there. Sorry.
Relaxed, like I felt like normally, like I should. Brains
math does not relax you,
because you level. It's always looking for stimulation, and that's what they give you for ADHD. But that's
she struggled with drugs since she was 15. No.
Now,
it's become like a very toxic thing as social media becomes larger and larger and larger. It's a very sad, but a reality that we have to live with young women.
Daniel says like Adderall and stuff is math. It is absolutely not. There is a lot of chemicals that start with METH. Big difference, Daniel. Big difference.
That are growing up, becoming teenagers, and then make their way into adulthood. It's very hard on them, and social media puts a lot of strain on young women.
He drives me nuts when he speaks about young women. He drives me insane when he speaks about young women. Like, Daniel, you are the last person that should be talking about what puts strain on women in general, young women, old women, middle-aged women, any woman, when you are being charged with 2 counts of sexual assault.
And
that too, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it does. It's because they have the self-image that they struggle with.
Talk about yourself. Someone said the other day in chat, they said he's going to make a very good prison counselor. I can hype on my iPad. Yeah. I think it's, as long as it's any mobile, Angela. I think it's got to be like a mobile, which would be a tablet, a phone.
And
I think that's about it.
When they see all their friends on there, or they see, we'll just say they see Instagram models, or, this is the way women should look. And it's like a lot of young women struggle with that. And she may have had an aspect of struggling with that as well.
Oh, for sure. Wait, when do I agree? And I'm like, wait, but why?
I said with Meadow every morning, I'm unaware we're
Okay,
going to
here we go.
school. I was unaware.
Listen to this.
Why not wake up Malaya?
I was unaware. She says, if you thought the children were going to school. Okay. I lay in bed with Meadow every morning. I'm unaware of the time, right? All I know is that the light was coming through the curtains, right? I wasn't aware of what time it actually was because I don't look.
Well, again, he says that he lays with Meadow every morning. Again, you're not going to wake a sleeping baby, take him out of the crib, and just put him in your bed just because you lay with the baby. That doesn't make sense. And since Meadow was in your bed, if that is a routine that Meadow lays with you every morning, and Malaya's not out of the bed, but Meadow is beside of you, and the routine is not going on, you're going to ask the question, what's the time? Or what's going on, Malaya? Is what you're going to do. You're not going to just say, I don't know the time. I don't know this. I don't know that. Malaya says the baby woke up because Jack and Lily were obviously awake. They would have had to been awake, loud and playing, if it woke up the baby.
Look at my phone. It was a normal day for me.
No, it wasn't.
And I always lay in bed with our daughter, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary with that day. Lily came in. I said, shh. Like, I didn't know when Malaya was going to get up. She usually got up with the kids.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I'm saying. If she usually got up with the kids, and you guys have this routine, she's up with the kids, you're laying in bed with Meadow, but she's not up with the kids and you're laying in bed with Meadow, and Malaya is still beside of you, that's going to either make you look at the clock or look at your girlfriend. Either way. But it's so interesting that they say all of these things aligned in place that morning, right? They just happened to not go to school that morning because they was sick, but they went outside and got lost, right? But not only Daniel was dozing in and out of sleep at the perfect time, but Malaya was dozing in and out of sleep at the perfect time. And also, Janie was dozing in and out of sleep at the perfect time. But Daniel says he sees Lily, doesn't see Jack, but hears Jack, right? But he knows Malaya is up at these certain times, and Meadow is laying in the bed with Daniel, even though they have this routine, but it didn't happen that morning. Malaya got up, just Meadow in the bed. But it's ordinary. It's ordinary. But you see, Daniel, it's not ordinary, because if the baby is in your bed and Malaya's still in your bed and she's not getting the kids ready, that's not ordinary. I bet you most of us do pretty much the same thing every single morning, right? We have our routine. We have our routine at night. Very similar things we do every single day. And if that's not going on, someone else isn't doing with your routine in your house, you start asking questions. Susie Q, good to see you. I just watched a YouTube video before this that explained that when someone lies, they end the sentence, yes, absolutely, like a question, because they want you to believe them. He does this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I will say it doesn't always mean it's a lie, but it is a way to convince. It's a more of a way to convince. Like I will say things like right, uh, you know what I mean? You guys, right? Like I'll say something like that. That's because it's like a way. It's like pointing out for you to believe it, if you will. So, but yeah, it's usually with the inflection. But Daniel, he is not a good liar. He's not a good liar. The most funny part about it, Susie Q, is privately, Daniel thinks he is really good at it. He thinks he's really good at this stuff. And that's, for me, that's the most hilarious part about it. Uh, I have seen messages and heard recordings, and he thinks he's really good at it. That's what's funny to me. Lucy, who lies in bed in the morning with their toddler till 9 or later? He talks as if baby M is the only important child in the house. Sadly, Lucy, I believe she was the only. I don't think none of the kids were important to them, if you will, because he didn't treat them good. But I think Meadow was the queen, if you will, of all three kids because she was Daniel's.
But that morning she didn't. And I always said earlier in this conversation, like, I should have got up. I should have maybe woke our daughter up, and I should have got up. And I understand that. And I can't ever change that. That's something I have to live. That's something I have to live with.
And I was going to say, I mean, I guess that's probably.
Daniel said he slept on the outside of the bed, so MBM had to crawl over Daniel.
I guess a little bit of a hard one to answer. Like Malaya put you asleep the entire time, like in her own words, in her document.
Yeah, I know. And that's
And
she like, and she's not covering for me. In that instance, she's telling the truth.
You see what he does there. Malaya, Sonny says, Malaya put you asleep at, almost the whole time. And he's like, that's pretty much true. But she isn't covering for me. An innocent person would never say that. They would never say that. They'd be like, yeah, she's right. She's right. He just shows it. But she's not covering for me. Well, nobody said she was covering for you. She just said, Malaya put you asleep. But here's the thing, Mr. Martell. You say you wasn't even remotely asleep. So how does that work? Wondering or inquiring minds would like to know, right? Inquiring minds would like to know. Okay, that makes me interested. 1 second here. I just thought of something. Let me find this. Just remember that in a second. Daniel, you should, yeah, exactly. Remember Daniel saying that he was asleep.
But you did see Lily come in a couple times.
Yeah,
said,
Lily did come in 2 times. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not lying for me, but yeah, Lily did. I woke up 2 times when Lily came in. Right. And then he says Malaya was on her phone. We had to be awake for that.
And I said, shh, shh. Like, but I don't remember because I was the way that I'm laying in the bed, right? I'm closest to the door, and Meadow's in between us. So, like, I didn't roll back over. I was literally
But I thought you said Meadow was laying on, I can't remember if it was his arm or Malaya's arm. But MBM said Daniel was sleeping the whole time. Inner chat with Sunny. Yes. And that's exactly right. In the Daniel in the documents says he is awake and Malaya is asleep. Malaya says in the documents that she was awake and Daniel was asleep. He also said Malaya used his phone to text to school. 1,000%. 1,000%.
at that point. I think I'm trying to remember back if Meadow was laying on my arm or not. I don't remember.
I know that you said that.
It's the little things like that are hard to recall having a conversation after a year.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Anything that, especially like if you've ever been wake up to like bad news, like instantly, it stains your brain. It sticks in your brain. You will never get rid of that trauma. Oh, they are unraveling like a mofo. Justin, it was Malaya's right arm that Meadow was on. And that's I remember like saying, I can't remember if it was Malaya's or Daniel's. But this is the thing, his lies are unraveling. It should not be hard to remember. I have the memory of a goldfish, guys. Of a goldfish. Seriously, like I remember nothing. Right? But my trauma, I remember. Right? Anything that is traumatic, I remember. And I can remember before, you can remember before the trauma, when it happened, and afterwards. That's not a hard thing.
Right. And that's another thing that bugs me. People think that I'm lying about everything.
You are.
And that would mean that there's the actual story that happened. And then I have to formulate a year worth of lies on top of that.
You've formulated so many lies that you can't keep track, Daniel. That's the problem. You have formulated lies upon lies. Case in point, I'm going to show you in just 1 second. Okay? I will show you in just 1 second here.
And then remember everything.
Well, you don't.
You know how hard that would be on the brain? That would drive someone insane.
Well, I know.
And that's why usually people that when they commit a crime, eventually they give in because
eventually they give in. No, they don't give in. Not eventually. They don't give in generally until court, right? And then they'll plead how they plead, and they let the jury.
Because the mind just self-destructs, like it can't take it anymore. And that's, psychopaths can get away with that because they don't have empathy. They don't have any of this guilt.
Do you remember last night me showing you Daniel's ex, of where Daniel said that he believes he's a psychopath? He believes he's a psychopath. He told his girlfriend, hey, Mohawk, Wendy, Ariel, I don't think he has any empathy. I'm going to show you. I'll show it to you in just a second. But he says, his girlfriend says he brags about him being a psychopath. I don't believe he does. Shannon, how are you, baby? Love you to pieces. Thank you so much, Miss Shannon. Good to see you. We got a new picture. Cutie, 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 cutie. It looks like a Maine Coon, what we call a Maine Coon. Kitty, kitty. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support, my love. Good to see you, Miss Shannon. How you doing? You feeling okay? If it goes to trial, he may have an election of jury or judge alone. Best to avoid a jury, in my humble opinion. I believe it will go. I believe there will be charges in Jack and Lily's case.
They don't feel guilt. That's a big thing about psychopaths. They don't feel any guilt, so they don't think they ever did anything wrong. And
Describing yourself?
that's why they can get away with such horrendous crimes. But when people are good people, they can't, it's too much, right? Living in your own guilt every single day. If you did something wrong, that destroys your mind over time.
Is that what's wrong with you?
And as I said, like, I've grown over the last year. And yes, I made mistakes along the way through my life. But, you know, I don't want to sound narcissistic when I say this, but I've changed a lot. And I've had to work on myself. I already said that many times.
No, you haven't.
I mean,
But I'm not lying about anything.
You
well, see,
absolutely
that was
are.
the thing that I struggled with a lot, is because you kept saying, you know, to Charmaine at the very start, you kept saying, you know, I'm like, I always tell the truth, you know, I don't lie. But then all these inconsistencies kept happening.
They don't
and, like,
care.
Literally,
Listen, they don't care. If you are truthful, you are not there to prove how innocent you are, how innocent you look, how much you have changed. People who have changed don't need to say, I have changed. Actions always speak louder than words. And you can see through actions if you have changed. And that is not you, Daniel. The only thing that has changed with you is your stories, your continual lies. Hey, Clapping Seal, good to see you. Sarah, good to see you. Oh, thank you, Brandy. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. Really do appreciate that, my dear. Thank you so much for your support. I truly, truly do appreciate that. Very sweet of you. I'm trying to find something. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Brandy. Really do appreciate you. Truth is foreign to this guy. He breathes lies. It lies about things he doesn't even need to lie about. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Where's Jack and Lily? It's all more about, yes. And justice for Jack and Lily. It cannot come soon enough. Daniel, we're not forgetting about you, boo-boo. We're Malaya.
But when you talk so much, it's bound to happen, right?
No, it's not.
But you know the saying that
No. It's not bound to happen to say that Malaya was sleeping. No. Daniel was sleeping. No, this time. No, this time. No, this time. No, Lily came in the room this many times. No, she said this many times. No, I said after, almost a year, I told her to be quiet, and I went, shh, and she said something about dad or whatever. No, you don't lie about the blanket. I said a pink blanket. You don't lie about a pink blanket to the news and then weeks later say, oh, yeah, it is. You don't lie about the footprint.
Then you're telling the truth.
I could go on.
But how many people in missing persons case talk as much as I do? We're in
a lot of people. And this is the thing. I've never seen Beth Holloway. She's talked for 20 years. Never seen her story change like that. Never seen inconsistencies with her story. Why? Because she was a billion, had nothing to do with it. Never seen an inconsistency in Brandy Neal's Vaughn's case, Michael Vaughn's parents. There should be no inconsistencies. It should be what it is. The only time there's your story changes, Daniel, is because we call out the inconsistencies and then you make up some other BS. And then we're like, well, now you're making it worse because you said this and then you said, now you're saying this, but look at this inconsistency now, right? It's kind of like whack-a-mole whenever they're lying to begin with, and then you come up with you show them their inconsistency of why it can't be true. They'll make up something else, and then two more inconsistencies pop up. Again, he's digging the wrong way. He's not digging out, he's digging down.
8 hours.
Oh, thank you so much, old garden gal. Good to see you. Thank you so much, darling. You have a Bichon Frise, old garden gal. They're great dogs. I used to have a Bichon. I'll show you a picture. His name was Teddy. He's a good doggy. Thank you so much, old garden gal. Appreciate you very, very much, my friend. Thank you so much. Janie's dog's name is Fluffy Boo Boo. And if you don't know it, Enoch, I'll spell it for you. Tukkah. Tukkah. Like oyster shaka, but Tukkah.
My dog's name is not Fluffy. My dog's name is
Dog's
Tucker.
name is Tukkah.
Tucker.
Tukker.
Tucker. If you don't hear it, maybe you'll know what it spells.
There you go. Tukkah with an oyster shaka. That's it.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Daniel.
It's at 8 hours, and
Okay, I'm going to show you.
I'm consistently speaking outward. I have done all those interviews. Like, I don't know how many people in a missing persons case have
speaking
50
bullshit.
on camera interviews. And like, it's just, if I would have done something that was to the kids, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And I don't know how many people.
Well, I would hope not.
Well, that's the thing, Daniel. Most of us don't know how you do. You know what I mean? We don't know how you do. But, most people aren't going through not one missing child, but two missing children, a rug addiction, and 2 charges of SA and 1 charge of confinement. And yeah. So
Right?
No,
there's
like
that.
that's the God honest truth.
God's
But I know
honest
deep-
truth. God forgive him, for I hope he knows not what he does. I mean, I think he does, but repent, Daniel. I'm telling you, you need to repent, child. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. Within the last year, I think Daniel has told the truth twice. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm assuming the 2 times would be that he has 2 stepchildren. That would be the only times. I don't know what the 2 times are. I'm sure he has said it twice, but that's the only thing I could come up with. He just doesn't tell the truth about anything. About anything. That's really the problem. You know what I mean? Okay, let me see here. Okay, now we got it. I don't know what the hell happened. That's crazy. That was so weird. That's never happened like that. Like everything went crazy. Like I saw some of you guys saying you were buffering too. Okay. All right, let me fix one more thing. I'm going to play this right here while we're listening to it. Hopefully. We're at 8 hours and 50 seconds.
Her like family.
Bear with me.
Much. Right.
Now,
Right. The right to hate me, despite do anything, and I'm being completely honest.
No, you're not.
Despite what the internet says, despite what people always hate me, and I understand that, and they have the right to hate me. But I didn't do anything to Jack and Lilly.
right, and
Neither did my mother. I can only speak for my mother.
I don't think your mother did anything to Jack and Lilly.
And then people get stuck on, they think her dog Tucker did something to the kids, and people were stuck on that for like 10 months.
Okay, so I was never with that. Like, I know that.
I think that was an absolute foolish thing to think. You don't think major crimes would have came or the RCMP would have been like, they never said anything about the dog ever. All they said is when we search the property, you can't have the dog in the RV, right?
How does
and
he
Mom
know?
said, God, I'll take.
How does he know Janie didn't do anything? How can he speak for Janie whenever he says? How does he speak for Janie whenever he says he knows Janie didn't do anything? You were in sleep, Daniel. You were asleep, Daniel. I know, Mike. Mike, I'm going to be covering Alec Murdaugh case again. I cannot believe this. But yeah. And I understand why people question the dog. I understand that. Particularly if there was two dogs, actually. Particularly if there were two dogs. Because if there were two dogs, sometimes dogs have a pack mentality, right? And if one starts attacking, many times another dog will start attacking. Now, I don't think that happened by any stretch of the imaginations, but I understand why people question it. But how can he speak for Janie whenever he says he was asleep? Just a question, Daniel.
Just wait a second. I'm going to take the dog out. Like, I don't want you harming the dog. Like, I'm going to, how many, police things you see or law enforcement things you see where they get attacked by dogs and then they're forced to, euthanize the animal. My mom never would ever. I don't think any pet owner would want that. Well, but that's an unfortunate aspect with.
You're talking about a dog being euthanized? Well, listen, if a dog kills a child, or in this case, children, they need to be euthanized. You fucking right, they need to be euthanized. If that was the case. You damn right. Down you go. There's no, in my opinion, anything that kills needs to be euthanized, but that's a whole different story.
When a dog is in an enclosed area, you want to take the dog out so they can freely search, right? Because the dog was under so much stress, hundreds of people, helicopters going over, drones, people yelling.
Shut the entire fuck up about Tucker being stressed. Shut up. Nobody cares. You know what we care about is Jack and Lilly being stressed. Maybe Tucker's stressed because he lives in that camper that you don't provide your mom anything better, and you let her shit in a bucket and it's like a damn Dutch oven with a chimney hanging out of it while she fucking chain smokes. How about that? Daniel, shut up.
And screaming. The dog doesn't know what's going on.
Well,
And it's a hard thing for people to fathom that aren't pet owners. But mom just wanted to take her dog out, and then they could search as many times as they want. And they did search.
No, you're a lying sack of shit about that. I believe Belinda any day over you.
I don't know how many times, like 3 or 4 times. They searched every property
I would be stressed too if I lived in a fucking Dutch oven with Janie and a head next door.
around here. They searched all my family's properties. And they did everything as thoroughly as possible.
well, I was gonna say, because like that, but that was one of the big things, Daniel, is that like Belinda said when she was there, that I think your mom was like crying like uncontrollably type of thing. Was that it? I think Justin was on Monday, but that your mom, and she said like the lady police officer or something said
Yeah.
like that like, it's okay, mom, they just want to check your trailer. So I think that because that was information that was kind of comes out.
Yeah.
Again, we're
It's a very emotional and stressful situation, and nobody knows how to handle every situation properly, right? But
well,
mom has only had that dog. I mean, mom had that dog for 5 or 5.5 years now, and she never swapped out her dog like other people say. It wasn't 2 dogs. I just wish people wouldn't fall into those traps.
yeah, I know that that was definitely on some people's mind about like, wait, like that little dog isn't the dog that we heard. It was like, and I know
Yeah.
Belinda said this, it was like she said she never saw the dog, but it was like a woof, like a deeper dog
Yeah, it's
sound.
Tucker's like 30 or 40 pounds, and he has like quite a big bark for his size of dog. You wouldn't expect.
This is my question right here. I asked him, how can he not know when he was not asleep by any means, he says, and knows certain the times for Malaya, but not himself? Sonny was kind of behind here, but he says he knows Malaya made phone calls at 8 o'clock and she was up at 6:15, and he knows she was asleep, but he wasn't asleep, but he was also asleep.
But that's mom's dog. There was no swapping of dogs. That's been mom's dog for like 5 or 5.5 years. She never ever swapped out the dog, and that was the only dog that's been on the property for that amount of
The
time.
only dog that's been on the property.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And because again, I mean, I know that there was this whole thing. I mean, as for a dog doing anything to the children, that's just, to me, like for actually a dog to attack Jack and Lily and like rip them to shreds and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
That would have provided evidence.
Obviously, there would have been
a lot of evidence all over the place, right?
Yes. So
that would have been the first thing that would have been like, why is there blood on the ground? This doesn't seem like a right thing. We better investigate that.
Well, you're right. You're right. You would think that it would provide a lot of evidence. But when Janie is raking half the earth behind her house, when there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of compressed dirt piled up there as well. And it's interesting how there's a footprint planted there as well. Again, I don't think the dog did it by any means, but that's exactly right. There's exactly. Abso-freaking-lutely. Thank you so much, Tina. I don't know if you heard me earlier with that when my internet cut out. Thank you so very much, my dear. What was the 2 times Daniel told the truth? I was curious about that. She only had the dog. Then he says 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
This, like, it leaves the mind to fall into traps. And in this case, a lot of people have fallen for traps or misconceptions on situations or actions that were that were done during the search and during the case.
One of the things, Daniel, that I want to go back to, because I think I read you it, but I don't know that you actually answered it.
Yep.
And it's only because I saw the comment again, but then I'm thinking, did actually Daniel answer this? But it was the question about Lindsay, remember the reporter,
Yep.
about you, that you said that she was gonna blame this all on me.
Yep.
Did you ever say, like, I just don't recall, but did you ever say what you meant by that? Like, why would like, did you actually believe that you said those words?
I believe that in person, I believe that, they may not be saying that to major crimes, because I don't get that perspective from them. But I still think
Hold
to
on.
this day, I believe that.
Why? I just don't recall, but did you all on me?
Yeah.
Did you ever say, like, I just don't recall, but this
Hold on.
all on me? Daniel
Wait.
answered this, but it was the question about Lindsay, remember the reporter,
Yeah.
about you, that you
Yes.
said that
Okay.
she was
This
gonna,
was my question. I asked in the chat, and Charmaine kindly sent this to Sunny, and the question was, Daniel, why did you Daniel, say to the interviewer that Malaya was going to blame everything on you right after she left? Okay? Why? Let me, and again, yeah. And again, he did not answer the question. He did not answer the question, and this is why the mother will not interview with me.
blame this all on me.
Yeah.
Did you ever say, like, I just don't recall, but did you ever say what you meant?
This is
by
the
that?
second time she
Like,
asked him.
why would like? Do
And I'm gonna show you
did
something.
you actually believe that you said those words?
I believe that in person, I believe that, they may not be saying that to major crimes, because I don't get that perspective from them. But I still think to this day that Malaya, Cheryl, and Cindy and them, they're telling shenanigans that I'm involved, and that's why,
Okay.
that's why Shenanigans talks the way she does, and that's the way.
Okay. The question was, Daniel, did you say you were that Malaya was going to blame everything on you? Not anything to do with Shenanigans. Shenanigans was not even in this at the time. So why are you talking about Shenanigans? The only Shenanigans you're talking about is the Shenanigans you're about everything. Shenanigans about everything. It's your Shenanigans, not the channel. Just Shenanigans. Listen, I just kind of
that get that, person. I believe that, they may not be saying that to major crimes, because I don't get that perspective from them.
And again,
but I still think to this day that Malaya, Cheryl, and Cindy and them, they're telling shenanigans that I'm involved, and that's why,
Okay.
that's why Shenanigans.
Again, it's what you told the reporter. What you told the fucking reporter, Daniel. And again, he's talking about major crimes and a YouTuber. Yes. To you, Mr. Martell. Mr. Martell, Mr. Martell. Do I still have that?
And it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot, to Mr. Proudfoot.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Proudfoot, what happened?
Daniel, if you come up here, you're going to see Justin Grace is what you're going to see, ma'am. Okay. That's what you're going to see. To you, Mr. Martell, to Mr. Martell, to Mr. Martell.
talks the way she does, and that's the way, you know, she
Yeah.
blames me for it. That would be the only, because if Malay and Cheryl and all them said that we don't think Daniel has anything to do with it, she wouldn't be riding that train of Daniel's guilty, right? That, that makes sense.
So again, for me personally, I have not watched any of Shenanigans' lives at all.
Mhm.
I have no clue what she has been saying. I heard about some sort of sleepover, whatever the up with
I
that.
think that's where the
And respectfully, I say this, but like they let him get away with this. And they probably let him get away with this because he'll leave. But again, he didn't even begin to answer the question. He didn't even begin to answer it. He said nothing about himself. The question was, did you say Malaya was going to blame this all on me? Well, he did, folks. He did. I wish I had the podcast, because it's on a podcast of the actual reporter saying it. The reporter also describes her firsthand interaction with Mr. Daniel Martell. In the interview, he was especially preoccupied that Malaya had left him and had gone to stay with her mother. Quote, this is a quote, Daniel, which means they have you quoted, which means they have you on a video or a recording that they can prove it. Okay? Quote, this is Daniel being quoted. Daniel Martell, the stepfather of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Quote, Daniel says, she's going to try to blame everything on me, but she doesn't get in trouble, end quote, he said. The reporter replies, quote, what would be to blame? I asked. At that stage, search and rescue teams were still scouring the woods for Lily and Jack and appeared to have hope the children would be found alive, end quote. Daniel is quoted again after saying she's going to blame everything on me so she doesn't get in trouble. Daniel says, I don't know, end quote, he said. Reporter says, quote, what he said struck me. It continued to perplex me as Greg and I sought answers over the following weeks, gathering information about the neighbors, friends, family members, elected officials, and police. We learn that behind the scenes, people's concerns for the children's welfare had already raised red flags, end quote. The first time he was asked, he more or less said that the media was shady. But again, he didn't deny it. Daniel, I know you like using this term now because I called you a little weasel. And I believe that is exactly what you are. A little wet math weasel. And you call other people that now. But that's exactly what you are. You're a weasel.
The nickname someone came up with, I'm not going to say who, what is it, the Scissor Sisters or something?
Oh, Scissor Sisters. Oh, I mean, that's the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, that's what a YouTuber calls them, is the Scissor Sisters.
Yeah, I just so that side of it, I don't know honestly anything about. I don't know.
No, I got a laugh out
No,
of that
like,
because
but just in general about what she's
yeah.
saying or how much she's been talking to Malaya and stuff like that.
Well, she
or,
says that she talks to them and she went out searching with them, and it's
right.
Okay.
yeah.
But
So the question goes, Daniel, did you say this to the reporter? He goes from talking about major crimes to shenanigans to Scissor Sisters. I shit you not. You heard it with your own ears, people. Major crimes, shenanigans, Scissor Sisters. You can't make it up.
so at the end of the day, though, is that from what you're gathering by even
Yeah, that's what I gather from
is that
shenanigans. And you know, we're
is that they're
talking
saying that
about her, and she's gonna hear this tomorrow, and I just hope that, you know, neither of us get attacked for just giving our perspective and opinion on the situation.
yeah. I mean, you know, honestly, I'd have to actually give a shit if that was
Yeah.
the case. I'm not here to sit here and
That's what
thank you. Oh my god. Until or at the end of like about our thoughts. The time a little at our ship. But at the end of the day, trying to be that person
Okay.
that's supporting, talking for her because
Almost.
she's has it when
Get to the next
in her
question.
or I were imagine I yes. And
and what, you know, I think we all wish that Malaya would, you know, do the right thing.
And you too.
And what people think is the right thing may vary from person to person, but the start would be speaking out and, you know, raising that awareness. And I don't understand the people around her. I mean, they're dedicated and loyal to Malaya. I understand that. I admire that. But convince her to do the right thing and speak out, because that's what she has to do is the right thing.
well, I mean, each to their own on what they deem is the right thing, you know.
Does anyone remember what interview that was? I'm trying to find that interview because, and it's a really rare one where they say that. I just have it in text. I've only listened to it like one time, where she says, "It struck me." I can't remember even what freaking podcast that was on. Let me see. Daniel says it somewhere. I'm trying to find it. When was this? 9 months ago. A neighbor describing hearing a vehicle come home at 5 a.m. Okay. Miss Mama 30, happy birthday to your daughter. Happy birthday, Miss Mama, to your daughter. Happy birthday. Yay. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. God bless you guys. And thank you, Mr. Lawrence. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for your support, my love. They are Canadian newscasters, a man and a woman. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I don't remember. Okay. It was Greg. Let me see here. Greg. I wonder if I can find it like this. Okay, let me play this.
You know, I know, you know, Daniel. I know that this is like, you know, if I didn't have to get up at 4:30 this morning to go to work.
No, it's all right. We can shut it down. I think maybe the true crime community and everyone that has a heart and is thinking of Jack and Lilly, I think I hopefully
You
they
don't
can
have a
take
heart.
something from this. And you know, no one's going to sleep a little easier tonight, but at least maybe I answered some questions, or maybe some.
Daniel, if you say that you or Malaya had no involvement in the disappearance of Jack and Lilly,
Excuse me.
and there's only a few things that could have happened to Jack and Lilly, it's kind of like, okay, so then what happened to Jack and Lilly, right? Because logically, with the whole taken away, like that doesn't even make sense, though, right? It doesn't. Why would Malaya hide two children when
Exactly.
she didn't have to? Why would she?
He says,
I know.
she says, why would Malaya hide two children? He says, exactly, except he said this for months on end. Said this for months on end.
That people were talking about selling of the children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
That was one of my polygraph questions. Did you sell the children?
yeah, you said that. Now, can I
Okay,
ask
this is really
because
important what he's about to talk here, because he's about to talk about the new polygraphs that he was given.
I heard you on Charmaine's, say, because those are pretty direct questions.
Yeah.
Now in the documents, obviously we heard about, being truthful, like meaning that the questions you were asked, you say Malaya were being, was the word truthful,
Yeah.
to those questions. Now you stated that those questions were all about, did you kill Jack and Lilly or something like
Yeah.
they were all directed towards murder.
They were all about the murder and accessory to committing the crime. Yeah. Or
Now-
accessory to committing murder. And then for the second round of polygraphs that I did, it was, did you lead the kids off the property? Did you take the kids off the property? Did you sell the kids? Or did you have help moving the kids off the property?
And did they
Okay.
tell you
That's very interesting because, again, the first set of polygraphs, it was all to do, according to Daniel, for the MURDER of Jack and Lilly. That, in my opinion, tells me that they, in my opinion, knew that they weren't alive, that they, in my opinion, had some knowledge of them not being alive at that time. How would he would not know what the other poly test on the other people? He wouldn't. No, not at all. He would have no idea. Yes, the murder. That's exactly right. Or red rum. We try to say red rum. The red rum of Jack and Lilly. That doesn't that doesn't sound like an accident.
so you obviously had to go down. And how long was that polygraph test for you?
They usually set aside 3 hours because they run through everything with you and they go slow to make sure you understand. They do your test questions to make sure that you're able to take the polygraph. And as always, they usually say to me, because you do have different administrators of the polygraph, I had one different one each time. And they told me when I did the question right at the start, they left the number 3 out, so it said 1, 2, and there was a blank, and then 4 and 5, and then they get you to lie on the number 3. Is number 3 there? Yes or no? And you say yes. Number 3 is there, and it's not. So they can tell if you're lying or not. Yeah. And the administrator said to me, he said, "Daniel, you have perfect autonomy and anatomy for doing this. It's just like you couldn't lie on this polygraph even if you wanted to." Even
Daniel, you are such a buffoon right here. I can't even tell you. They're not going to say, if they think you couldn't lie, they wouldn't give you a lie detector test. They are, when they're doing their test to see if it shows that you're lying, that's what they're checking. It's a controlled test. That's the whole reason why you take a lie detector to test after the controlled test, to see if it averages out. Just like he said the other day, when they went to get his DNA, he said when they got my DNA, they checked off a box that I was completely innocent, had nothing to do with it. And he said for the analysis of the DNA. Well, it was they got his DNA because of the pink blanket that we're aware of. Well, they're not going to check off you're innocent and then send it off to get the test, the results, before they get the results. Like, you've got to actually get the results before they can check off anything. That makes no sense, Daniel. He's so dumb. He's not good at this. Daniel, you couldn't lie, even if you wanted to. Said truly the biggest liar that I have ever covered. Ever. By far. By far. Most parents, even if they are sus, they will either not answer it, or they'll be truthful in some things that may not even make them look good. Daniel's not capable of putting any sort of negative name to his to any kind of negative light to his name, because he is, in my opinion, and I know this is used a lot, but he is, in my opinion, a full-blown narcissist. He's not capable. Again, he lies about little things, just the littlest things.
So it said 1, 2, and there was a blank, and then 4 and 5, and then they get you to lie on the number 3. Is number 3 there? Yes or no? And you say yes. Number 3 is there, and it's not. So they can tell if you're lying or not. And the administrator said to me, he said, "Daniel, you have perfect autonomy and anatomy for doing this. It's just like you couldn't lie on this polygraph even if you wanted to. Even if you tried as hard as you couldn't lie."
Well, okay,
And
so they told you then and there that, like, so last time you
This is
said,
very
well, I
interesting.
can't say, because at that point you were just saying, let's just say, like, without saying you passed, I think, like that. Let's just say you did good or whatever it was you said in that one interview the first
Wait, guys, they're getting ready to put his hand on Daniel's shoulder.
time. And then
Hey, Daniel, you know something? Once you're in the clink, you're going to have a lot of men on your shoulders, baby. I can't wait.
the second time you spoke about it during the interview, this time, so did they tell you right then and there, like, did they physically?
Actually, you're going to have you're going to have your legs on a lot of men's shoulders. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Or actually say that you passed?
yeah, afterwards, he put his hand on my shoulder because after the administration of the polygraph,
Put your legs on my shoulders.
They usually leave the room, right? And they can analyze the data, and then they come back because everything's done electronically, right? And you have to remember too, they're looking for every aspect, watching you on the camera to see if your behaviors change, or your body language. They're doing everything, right?
Right.
And because these guys are professionals, they know when something's not right, or when they lie. I mean, when someone lies, or something seems off from your normal characteristics that you displayed during the previous one, or because investigators are always watching in the background on the cameras. And after that, he left the room. He comes back, and they said, like, we had a conversation, and he said to me, he said,
very
"Daniel,
interesting up here.
what do you think happened?"
Me?
And
Or
No,
you
no,
said-
no, no. That's what the administrator asked me.
Oh, okay.
He said, Daniel, what do you think happened? He's like, and then, I ran into like all the possibilities, I thought of. And that was a conversation there. And then he's just like, you're free to go. And then
Now, he said something right here that drives, and I've said it to you guys already, but he says something right here that if were the case, nobody, innocent or not, would take a polygraph test. And for him to even say this and thinks people believe it, just like the drones or anything else, is baffling to me, that he has no forethought, as he would say, in his mind of such lies that anyone is even remotely going to believe it. Listen to this.
he's like, are you going to talk to investigators? I said, yeah, I have a chat with investigators before I go. And, I went up to investigators afterwards and, he put his hand on my shoulder. The administrator said, yeah.
Put your legs on my shoulders.
He said, yeah, he was truthful. And, I said to investigators, I think everybody knows the investigator I'm talking about by now. But, and I said, where do we go from here? And
they said, Daniel, we'll see, buddy. We'll see. We'll knock on your door at 3 a.m. if we need you. Okay.
And, he said to me, he said, Daniel, I don't know at this point. And I take those words as like, I don't know, right? He can't tell me everything.
No.
So it's like, I have to try to read body language the best I can. And,
Listen,
after getting so much time in with investigators, I try to read them as best I can to gain, knowledge, or because they're analyzing me and I'm analyzing them.
Right.
At the same time.
They're analyzing me and I'm analyzing them. You're doing everything you can, Daniel, to try to get a morsel of what they think. But you see, Daniel, they are trained to not show that. They are absolutely trained to not show you, to give way to their body language or their verbal language, even though you're looking them up and down, sweating bullets. Now, you really suck at it. You really suck at it, Daniel.
Yeah.
And that's a very good trait that I had to pick up over the last year, is trying to identify when people are lying to me, because because people are constantly trying to manipulate me. Right?
Yeah.
Those damn drones 50 drones trying to manipulate you at night. Nobody knows the horrors you go through, Daniel.
And the public is always trying that. Through every message I get, it's like people are trying to think they can manipulate me into something or extract information from me.
Well, they've extracted a lot out of you, Daniel. They've not extracted the truth, of course, but RCMP will find that. Don't you worry about that. And it's coming, in my opinion. However, we have extracted a lot of lies and a lot of inconsistencies, Daniel.
It's like, I have no information to give. I give everything openly and willingly, just like we did in this almost 8.5 hour, live. I try to give as much to the public.
Daniel, not live. It's an 8.5 hour lie. L-I-E, not L-I-V-E. Just take the V out. 8.5 hour lie. That's what it is.
As possible. It doesn't matter if we're on a live or it's in a private message. And I always try
Exactly.
to get
Doesn't
everything
matter if it's in a live or a private message, you're still a liar,
out there.
in my opinion.
Actually one of the biggest things for the public is the fact that your mother is claiming to be the person that heard Jack and Lily. And of course she couldn't take a polygraph for whatever the reasons were with,
Listen to this.
I don't know, hype, I don't know, whatever.
I believe Janie was freaking the hell out because Janie is always freaking the hell out, and she's very hyper and loud. I mean, this is her being
My
calm.
dog's name is not Fluffy. My dog's name is Tucker. 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 If you don't hear it, maybe you'll know what it spells.
So that's her calm. I believe that she couldn't take the test because she was so hyper and just all over the place that they couldn't give it to her. Janie, why don't you take that polygraph? Why don't you be calm and, take that polygraph?
Whatever it was. I'm not sure of the actual wording, but that could meaning for the RCMP, for even the public, right? So the last person, and I'm just saying that this is a part that really truly sucks, is because obviously if your mom was the last one to say that, so she absolutely heard Jack and Lily that morning, right? That would have been a question on the polygraph test for her. And
No, the polygraph she did was the same as my first one. We had the same one about the murder.
okay, but the thing is at some point definitely the RCMP would want to know about if this was being truthful or not truthful.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
meaning the only person
I
that
do
is-
understand what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. So meaning
Yeah.
it's just like for the information to do with Jack and Lily. So meaning if the public had any sort of inkling that was pretty much accurate information, right? Then you could really hone in that timeline that it was truthful, that she heard Jack and Lily. But because we don't have any verification of that whatsoever, right? With a timeline that, I'm sorry, that pretty much sucks because it just doesn't mesh too well. Just for the information that we have, okay?
Yeah,
Um,
it's
hour
different
gap.
from the perspective of investigators, because they have all three perspectives, right? They have me, mom, and Malaya. So it gives they have a much clearer view of the whole morning than what I have, mom has, or
Well, but your mom didn't take the polygraph.
Malaya as an individual has.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
And so but you understand why it's just like that would have been huge if
Yeah.
if we knew for fact that Jack and Lily were heard.
The first polygraph, according to Daniel, was the red rum of Jack and Lily, and all it had to do with the MURDER of Jack and Lily. And the second polygraph was, did you take Jack and Lily off the property? Did anyone assist you? Which again is very interesting to me, the assistance. You guys know that I am not a fan of Durwood, and I don't believe a lot of things he said. Good reason. But I find it highly interesting. Durwood asked Daniel one time, Daniel, who was with you in the car that night? Who was with you in the car that night, Daniel? And then now Daniel's saying in the second polygraph, who assisted you? Who assisted you? And I do believe Daniel was assisted. Now, it could have been with one of his friends. I don't know,
that morning,
but
right?
it's
It would
very
But they
take
would
interesting.
never
you.
ask that question because
No,
it's we don't get to choose the questions they ask. They're all
right.
Obviously.
tailored and they're all sentenced in a way where um, they can't be confused or and all the questions mesh together, right? Because they'll ask you the same question, but in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And they even with me, they asked, "Did you move Jack and Lily off the property?"
Listen,
Yeah.
And then they asked, "Did you move Jack and Lily off the property? Did you move?"
did you move Jack and Lily off the property? I don't believe they were asking. They might have asked Malaya that, but I don't think they were asking Malaya if she moved Jack and Lily off the property. Maybe if she knew that they were moved off the property, or if she knows what happened to him, or they know where she's at. But it's very interesting, especially after the neighbors come out and two neighbors and says that they heard Daniel on the property that night. Remember, on each side of Daniel's yard, both neighbors hear it.
Move Jack and Lily off the property? And they would do it the same question like
You have
three or four
someone ask
times,
you.
3 or 4 times in a row, right? So they
Yeah.
can see if there's any change in, you know,
Yeah.
your muscle twitches or your heart rate or the blood flow through your fingers
Yeah.
or your oxygen levels. They check all that. It's all electronically done. But
Because, yeah.
the most stressful thing about that, Sonny, is I don't know if you know this, but when you go in to do a polygraph, it's all voluntary. They close the door and they
Here it is.
say you're free to leave at any time.
Here it is.
Yeah.
And
Obviously.
yeah, you're free to leave at any time. And then they give you a consent form. They gave me for the first one, it was you sign the consent form. And if you fail the polygraph, that gives them probable cause to charge you with homicide. Right. And for this,
If you fail the polygraph, he says, that gives them probable cause to charge you with homicide if you fail a lie detector test. That is the absolute dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. There is no way. I don't care if I was 1,000,000,000% innocent. If they could charge me with homicide with this little machine, and by the way, they ask you the same question 3 times, no more than 5 times. Let's say you get a 70 on one, and then you get an 80 on the other, and you get a 70 on the third one, right? And your average would be like 75. It's 3, no more than 5 of the same question, and they average those points out to say whether you pass or you failed. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life. That they could charge you with probable cause. Hi, RCMP. We're presenting this to the Crown that Daniel failed a polygraph, and this is the probable cause that we have to charge him. What's your proof? Oh, well, we have this electronic box over here that we averaged points out. That's all we have. No, Daniel, they have to prove it. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Linda, I'm sorry.
my second polygraph is if I would have failed that, it said they would give probable cause to charge with homicide plus abduction.
Right.
And then I sign at the bottom to give my consent. And then they say, yeah, now the polygraph can begin. So it puts a lot of stress, and it's quite a unique feeling that, the average person will never feel.
Guys, just hold on 1 second. We have some breaking news from our sponsor. Alrighty, we have breaking news from our sponsor today. This is from Temu. This is a mini electric shock polygraph sponsored by Temu. Yes, it's not Temu, it's Temu. This is our sponsor for today. Daniel says it works great from what I understand. Get yours now. If you buy one right now, you will get the second one for your mother free. Absolutely free. Let's just kind of zoom in a little bit on that 1 second so you guys can see it better. So we can hopefully sell. You can use your code right now. Legs on shoulders, Daniel's legs on shoulders 10. That's Daniel's legs on shoulders 10. Or you can use Oyster Shucka. You can also use the code TUCKA 10, TUCKA, TUKKAH 10, for your buy one, get one free. This is the mini electric shock polygraph by Temu. Yes, it will only take 6 to 12 years for it to arrive. We would like to thank today's sponsor of this mini electric shaka polygraph. And thank you. Back to our regular scheduled programming. All right. We would like to thank today's sponsor again. Thank you so much for that. We hope you guys buy that and really like it. I know Daniel loved it. He really looks like Einstein right now with his hair, but regardless, he seemed to like it. All right, moving on. Throw in some foil and you'll have a sale. Listen, Daniel is not allowed to have any more foil. Okay. He's already wearing the tinfoil hat and smoking it with the foil as well. So no more foil for Dan. Okay.
In their life to go through that type of stress level, because it releases so much, chemicals from the brain that you're not used to having, right?
Jen, you are late. You are late. Jennifer, to the office, please. You're being paged. Jennifer, to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a late slip for Jennifer. Here we go. We're going to pull her over. You are pulled over, ma'am. Pulled over. Excuse you, ma'am. Jennifer, to the office, please. Jennifer, to the office. Oh, he used my full name. You damn right I did. You have been late 5s of 10s of minutes. Love you, baby. Good to see you.
It's like a fight or flight chemical release, but you're sitting there in a chair, like, still.
Jen, did you miss our today's sponsor, by the way? Did you come in time? It was right before you just said hello. If you missed our today's sponsor, you need to rewind just a couple minutes.
And it's your body's in flight or fight completely, and it's your body's trying to like manage the amount of stress, even though you're innocent. it's just like the situation brings out.
Remember, Daniel said he was very scared and very shocked, if you will, whenever he was taking the first polygraph.
Like
And by the way, they make sure you are calm.
a crazy amount of, chemicals from your brain that you're not used to having, because it's a very intense situation. The intensity is turned up, 1,000%.
But that's just it, right? If say you passed your polygraphs, Malaya passed hers, Wade passed his, everybody, Cody passed his, and all that stuff. So, and at the end of the day, then if they passed, obviously they're not admissible. We all know that goes without saying. But obviously the RCMP and whatever are going to use it as a source of, to see. And like you said, it's voluntary. You didn't have to. They ask you, and typically if people,
Yeah.
you want to prove your innocence, or there's people that take it that just clearly are freaking ass lying, and that they know that, right?
Yeah,
And then
they told me most people that are guilty, they don't never show up for the polygraph,
Right.
because it's voluntary. And
So-
why?
They're telling you that. Guys, we have another sponsor today. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the other sponsor. We have Legs on Shoulders. This is the new shampoo. It's the prison shampoo. It's called Legs on Shoulders, not to be confused with Head and Shoulders. Put your legs on my shoulders. Yes, it's called Legs on Shoulders. If you apply the code right now, it is buy one, get one free, and you will save an additional 10% with using code Legs on Shoulders 10. We would like to thank today's sponsor, Legs on Shoulders. Again, not to be confused with Head and Shoulders. Thank you. All right. Special thank you to Legs and Shoulders. Thank you so very much. Not to be confused with Head and Shoulders and what's that song? Head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Well, Daniel, you will be using all of those in the prison. Yes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. All right, back to our schedule.
Why would they want to do something that's voluntary that they don't have to do, right?
But if you're passing yours, Malaya's passing hers, and so and the RCMP keeps saying that there is nothing to show any signs of abduction, and by that they're referring obviously to they're talking about stranger abduction, like that some random pedo drove down a road, and they were very clear about that from the beginning. So I always assumed that the way that he said that in that press conference, it was almost like he was basically looking at them going, look, if we had something to show you, or don't you think basically we'd be going that route, but we don't, that like there's nothing to show. So if you guys are all say passing polygraphs, right? And they don't believe that this is some sort of random stranger abduction of the children,
then
where
that
does that
means
leave us? Like,
that's
well, let's see what he says. That leaves us with Daniel, Malaya, and Jane T. Janky Janie.
It's the biggest,
Bullshit.
deciding factor in all this. It's just like I don't know, like where after a year where everything's going. Like
Well, It's funny you mentioned that, MN, because it's coming right up after these messages.
I know exactly your perspective on that, and I have the same perspective. I don't know what the next move is for the investigation. Only investigators know that. But as you said, like that's why I stopped throwing out all the theories and speculation and everything, because I'm under the impression everybody passed, and it doesn't
Right.
do any justice for Lily and Jack to accuse and make up theories if what I'm getting from the situation is everyone passed the polygraphs.
Yeah, you just want us to all get over it, don't you, Daniel? Stop looking, everyone. They're 100% not in the woods. We didn't fail the polygraph, but we lie like rugs. So onward and upward. Everyone just get on with your life, even though Jack and Lily most likely no longer have a life. And Daniel, guess what? Myself and my pearls and a lot of other channels aren't giving up. Okay? I'm doing a live stream tomorrow of Summer Wells, and that's been 5 years, almost 6. Not stopping, boo boo.
Well, this is what hurts the brain, Daniel, is because, like I said, you try, in my own personal brain, and Charmaine too, she has like, that thinking brain as well,
She
that you're trying
absolutely
to think,
does.
well, logically, well, if this stuff is, like they're putting out information
He said he
about
doesn't have proof,
past, and
but the RCMP document says he did pass
so
the
in your
first one.
brain, you're trying to understand, okay, 2 children.
But I honestly, I don't give a damn if he passed 7 lie detector tests. He lies. It's very easily. I've proved over and over and over again that he has lied in his statements. And to be honest with you, someone like Daniel, who his words, he believes he is, I can't remember if it was allegedly a psycho or a sociopath, either way, and someone that's smoked meth every day, again, his words, for the last umpteen years, I don't think he's functioning that well on with his nervous system, so to speak.
Children are missing. The most likely,
I don't think he feels.
the most likely,
Thank you for
obviously
not being seen.
subjects would
Thank
be,
you.
or suspects would be looking at the family immediately for family involvement. We know that this is the most common for typical cases, but this isn't a typical case because it's 2 children on this. So that's where the brain wants to explode, because I've dissected, for what I can take of it, everything that
It
you've
doesn't
said,
happen.
what I feel is truthful, what I feel like.
Again, I don't think it's a far cry to think someone that is being charged with 2 counts of sexual assault, right? 1 count of what's it? I always want to say harboring of confinement. A home with rats is messy. A relationship that is very toxic. A home that is physically toxic with math. And the teachers are calling CPS because they're concerned about Jack and Lily, because they're showing up to school with bruises and they're having to buy them winter coats. And they're in financial straits. They're not having any money come in because Daniel's working 1 day a week. He's getting paid more, though, than that. And Malaya's getting none. And they're smoking it all up. And there's literally no food in the house. Earl said in his interview that he bought the family food. Of course, Malaya's grandmother bought them food and a lot of other things. I don't think it's, and also just the absolute provable lies that we have seen from Daniel and Malaya for the last year, I don't think it's a far cry to think, with all of those things going on, that these people could be involved. Yeah, Sherry. Earl said he bought them firewood, bought them food for the house, and something else. There is a voice polygraph, if you will. Thank you, helicopter grandma. Thank you so very, very much. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, helicopter grandma. Helicopter grandma just bought one of those polygraphs. Thank you so much for that, for sponsoring today's video. Appreciate you. Did you see my sponsor video? Hello, helicopter grandma. Did you see it? Did you see it? Jack was vomiting on the desk in the morning at school. I know. I can't even think about it. I can't even think about it. I can't even fucking think about it. Just like I get flashes in my head of that. I just picture it. Ugh. Mm-mm.
Maybe not be truthful. What I feel, the little bit that Malaya has said, but her actions of this all and the lack thereof for a mother of two missing children, and you're trying to take that all in perspective, but yet then you come say to the documents, and then it's kind of like I said about, well, these 4 questions passed, or was truthful and shown to be truthful. I mean, the second set of questions would be more. What I would have expected those to kind of be mixed up with the first questions, to be honest. But did you do anything to the children? Did you take them off the property? Did you have any involvement? I thought that actually those would have been in.
What did I
I
miss?
think the very first question should have been,
Listen to this.
do you have any involvement in Jack and Lily's disappearance?
Right, but it was, did you murder?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the second question
No,
should have been,
no, Frosty. No. Daniel worked 1 day a week. He got paid, I think, for 40 hours as long as he showed up 1 day a week. And they were getting like close to $2,000 a month with like Canadian pay. Malaya was, until the last few months, because Daniel defrauded the government, allegedly, and he filed his other 2 kids. Guys, you probably can't hear me as good as you normally can, but can you hear me now? You probably can't hear me normally as good. I'm using my other microphone, but you should be able to hear me. Does it sound okay? Okay. Let's see if I can get it to work, though. I don't know what it is with my microphone. I think it's the internet or StreamYard or YouTube. I don't know. But it's not picking up. It's weird. I need to check it out in a second. A little far away, but good. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if y'all can hear this now.
Do you know where
I can't hear that. So I don't know what's going on.
Jack and Lilly are?
Right. You know, well, right.
Damn. What is going on? Okay, maybe that should work now. All right. It might be my cord. It might be my cord that's going out. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. We can hear you. Maybe you have yourself. Well, no, it's the input output thing, but I think we got it now. Hopefully, we got it now.
Right. Things that are leading to is he telling the truth or not? Anyway, so it really just boils down to is that the head explodes because you got all this information, but yet you still can't make sense of it.
Yeah, and that's why investigators urge me not to just lay in bed every night and go over everything in my head, because it'll drive you like mentally insane. Like there's no other way to put it. You're trying to look for something that maybe not there, and it just drives you crazy because like I can tell like your mind's going wild too. Like every time that I talk, it's like
Leslie, where's Leslie going? Hold on. Where's Leslie going? Okay, I really need to go see what's happening outside BR. Take us with you. Listen, we are live breaking news. Take us with you. Hey, I was in someone's pocket the other day. They were typing in chat, and I was like, get us out of your pocket. They were like, a few seconds later, they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Daniel, if you're watching, he is, even though he says he doesn't watch YouTube. Know that you should have done better for those kids. He absolutely should have. Leslie, what is it? What does she see? I don't know. But we're going to find out. Is the satellites, the red, white, and blue ones, are the worst? Well, he thinks it's the RCMP.
What's a different perspective we can take, or what's a different angle that we...
Wait, what's in the yard? It might be Leslie's milkshake. Brings all the boys to the yard. Love you too, Deb. Good to see you, honey. Oh my God, the cat has zoomies. Uh-oh. You want to see a monkey have zoomies?
We can look at, and it's like everybody passed their polygraph that I'm aware of. So what does that lead now?
It means
and it leads us down a road where we never thought we'd have to go down, because we thought,
hurry up, pave that road, Daniel, quickly, because what are you talking about?
It could have been Malaya, or some people thought it might have been me. And
again, he says Well, Malaya passed her test. I passed my test. So it can't be us. But now we got to go down another road. It could be Malaya. People thought it was me.
It's like that's not the case. I'm not covering for Malaya. I'm just going on what information we have now. If everybody passed their polygraphs, we're right back at square one.
Well, I
And
know that might be the way like
Well, Daniel, that's what you might think. But remember that polygraph that, again, you said just a minute ago, if you failed the polygraph, you had to sign a waiver, you say, and you could be immediately charged with your words in quote probable cause in quote of quote homicide in quote, which is not the case. But even if you pass that test and Malaya passed that test and the RCMP proves that you or Malaya or someone else did something to Jack and Lilly, that polygraph is not going to make it to court. Okay. So it's not going to do you any good. But I passed the polygraph. Well, we have you here on camera at this time, or we have you doing this at this time. See, they prove a polygraph is just a tool. It's just a tool. People pass them all the time that lie, and vice versa. People who are not lying fail them.
what the investigators have obviously can be a whole different story.
yeah, that's
And it will
true.
be of what they know. But just for like, just the average thinking of, a case, like I said. So unfortunately, we don't have the files in front of our cases or in front of our faces to see exactly what they all have the knowledge of or where they're truly at. That we will not know. You will not know truly where they are because, like, again, bottom line is they're not here to go about, oh, let me care about Daniel's feelings so much. They're there to care about what happened to Jack and Lilly, and they're there to do a job.
Frosty, you might have not been here earlier, but that is exactly what he said just a few minutes ago. That he said I had to sign a waiver because if I failed that, they would have immediately charged me with homicide. I'm like, oh my God, Daniel, you
Mhm.
For
think
finding the answers for Jack and Lilly.
But
And
after so much investment, it becomes more than just a job for them. Like they
well,
put their whole heart and soul into it because
it's just
they see like
him and
me, they see Malaya,
just feel
and it's they see everything that happens online, right? Like I'm gonna send them this link for this, and they're gonna watch this, right? Because I always tell
listen
them
to this.
everything, and I always keep them up to date on everything I say. And then because I may have answered something in this that may help, right?
Oh, I'm sure that you've answered some things in there that will help further their investigation. If at least not for Jack and Lilly, at least for another case that you're being charged currently uh, by the Crown, Daniel, which is 2 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of confinement. I always forget the confinement.
maybe. Well,
Like I have no idea, right? That's the thing. Like it's best to have their social media team review everything. And that's what they do. I send them everything, or I tell them when I'm doing stuff, or I used to tell them when I'm doing interviews and all
Him,
that stuff.
he is being charged with 2 counts of SA, sexual assault, and 1 count of confinement against a person, an unnamed person. We don't know the victim has not been named, but one can wonder. And I wonder if the person wasn't in the home.
Well, see, I think that's
They
where I
give
think
dates.
this is at a crossroads. For in a
Forcible
sense. So,
confinement, yes.
I needed so I needed saying some stuff. Really kind of made me think about.
Sexual assault. And if you, I don't know if I have it handy right here, but his ex came out and spoke to me. He had this girlfriend after Jack and Lily went missing and Malaya left. And she let me see if I've got it handy. But the RCMP spoke to her as well. And they according to her at least, they wanted her to press charges because and she allowed me to share these messages and pictures because he was not only physically abusive to her, but he was, it's hard to talk about really, but he was violent with sex, like bruising violent. Canada also uses the Commonwealth laws in some cases. Yeah. Hey, Miss Joyous. Good to see you, love. It's a pattern. Yes, exactly. Yes. And she gave me full permission to share these. Let me see if I got it here. Oh, but it's a full pattern. Oh, by the way, let me show you this real quick. Of course, these are pictures of Jack and Lily with their trash cans overflowing and their poor little dirty jackets that they only got washed maybe every 6 weeks. Maybe every 6 weeks. But Daniel, here's the clothes that Malaya, that you gave them. And I will say that the clothes look clean. And I believe these are the clothes that was washed, a lot of them that night. Hey, darling, let's not forget about the text that to that woman, red flag. Oh, I know. He said he wanted her to fall asleep so he could like pretend that he was R-ing her. And if she woke up and said to stop, it was hurting, that he would just do it harder. Yeah. Here's one of the pictures. Now, the problem with this gal is she told on him in the beginning. And then, like a lot of people do, she said that she was lying because they kind of smoothed things over for just a minute. And she said she was scared and all of that stuff. and she just didn't want to be in it anymore. And then she said he did do it. She was scared and all of that stuff. He was only physical the day I went when the cadaver dogs was there. So one day, and Daniel was really mad that day, and he took it out on her, in my opinion, that day. Daniel text. So there was 2 RCMP officers, I guess that's how you call them there, that flew across the country with their dogs to look for Jack and Lily in the woods. And they went to Daniel's house and they looked inside. They looked under the trailer and all that. And Daniel, they looked out in the woods. Excuse me. And Daniel said, this is coming from his lips, that one of the RCMP officers was aggressive with him and said, Daniel says, the RCMP officer says, Daniel, we think you did something to the kids Thursday night into Friday morning. It's coming from Daniel's own interview. And they talked to him about the stove that he has in his house, that there was something about that stove. And that pissed Daniel off to no end. And he was hot. He was mad. And he texted this gal, and she picked him up, and he was mad as hell and all that. And then they left, and they ended up, allegedly, according to her, she says they went and got it on down the road. Well, after they were done with their thing, her car wouldn't start. So she's like, well, can we, walk back to your house and your mom's house, and can she give us a jump? And Daniel's like, hell no, I'm not asking her, and all that. And they ended up, I think, spending the night in the car or something like that. And the next day, they walked to the house there where the railroad tracks is and asked them for a jump or something like that. But her, I want to say, because she's actually married at the time. I think her husband came and got her or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was a bad situation, very bad situation. Again here, all of that. Did you really? Did he really do this to you because you said he did, and then you said he didn't? Were you trying to take it back the day the cadaver dogs were there? She said he left other bruises from sex, which I showed major crimes, as well as those weren't, and she said these weren't from sex. And yes, I picked him up from after the handlers questioned him on September 23rd. So I said, so after you picked him up after major crimes, what was he like? Was he stressed? What did he say? That they said. Let's see here. She said, no problem. People should know the real Daniel Martell. He's insane, and I seriously think he's a sociopath. Even he said he thinks he could be, she put psychopath before. I'm doing okay going through a divorce. Okay, I don't want to read that. Okay. And then Daniel says here. Okay, this is where Daniel said his own kids his own kids said that he was mean to Jack and Lilly. This was very early, and it says June 19th, but this is just when the screenshot was. This was just a few, I think just a day or so after Jack and Lilly went missing. Well, everything is not the best. Meadow is going into CPS custody. Malaya is losing her. CPS also turned his kids, I don't want to say their name, they interrogated an 8 and a 6-year-old, and I guess they said I abused, sorry, I said mean. So I guess they said I abused Jack and Lilly. Daniel says one up day. He says it. Helicopter, thank you so much, Mama, for gifting me 2 pearl necklaces. Thank you so much, my love. Appreciate you. If you received one of those, make sure you give our helicopter mama a big thank you. Thank you so much, my dear. Jen, nope, no bushes. You just got here. Proactive, girl. Proactive. Love you, baby. Good to see you. Get some rest. Shannon, did Sunny say anything about Zach yet, or is she too embarrassed? What's up with the Zach thingy? Zach who? You'll be under my pillow. Well, then I'll be talking like this. Hold on. I'll be talking like that. Justin, there's several gifts on the other side. Okay. Mods, make sure I don't forget to thank people for the gifts in just a little bit. One tough day, but he never denied. Oh, well, this is the thing. It wasn't just his kids that blamed him of being mean to Jack and Lilly. Not even close. Not even close. And he tries to act holier than thou. Okay. So this was Malaya and them got $1,900 a month for 3 children. They got $633 per kid. And then she got another check per month. I can't remember what it was, for $1,266 a month. It was like a second check. So 633 per kid times 2 kids, because the Daniel ended up saying that there was actually 5 kids. So he has to back pay for the 2 kids. Right? So $1,266 per month times 24 months. And he just said the other day that he says he didn't file for 2 years. That would be $30,000, which is exactly what Malaya's stepdad, I can't think of his name, Wade, said that they owed. Is Daniel working now? Yes, I think so. Child tax credit plus social assistance. Yeah, and they got, I think, actually more because she was part of the a tribe there. So they were banking over $60,000 a year with no bills. Wow. Well, that was just her. That was just Malaya. That's not including Daniel's pay. And they paid an electric bill. That's it. I think Daniel's off work now because of his hand. Yep. Well, that's exactly where it went, Tina. That's exactly where it went. Again, we want to talk about the drones. The drones. Remember, Daniel said that there is every night 50 drones up in the air. And 4 of them, he says, is the RCMP watching, protecting him. He says, yeah, some weird things just happened outside. That's why I never messaged him and Janie. Guys, I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. You don't even realize how paranoid they are outside of their home. Like anything they hear, it's a drone or a car or someone watching them, or it's the RCMP. It's the craziest thing I have ever seen. Oh, it is. It is. And Frosty, it makes me wonder about Janie, to be honest with you. Either she's buying into what Daniel's saying, because when someone is having like rug hallucinations or even medical hallucinations, like they don't take their medicine or they're going through something, they can be very convincing, right? To a lot of people, they can be very convincing. I told a story one time when I was a kid. I was probably 12, 13 years old. My neighbor, she was having, she was, I think she was bipolar, and she wasn't taking her medicine. And she was outside, and she's like, she scared me because I was brought up like in a very religious family. 4 pastors in my family. And she was like talking about God, and she's like, there's a train up there and it's coming and all that. And, you're kind of gullible as a kid and you don't know what's really going on. And like, it scared me. So, it can be convincing to a lot of people because they think it's real, and you're like, ma'am, is it just me or something? So I wonder if is she just believing Daniel with this, or is she smoking the mathematics as well? Absolutely. Absolutely. They should be, but in my opinion, JM said she's always heard vehicles, and now why does it matter? Why now? She said she heard everything, and Tucka would bark. Yeah. Yep. So so yeah, he's saying that, there's something out of that. And then he said, yeah, Malaya trying to throw me under the bus. Leaked messages from her. She's backed in the corner now. This is what he told his girlfriend at the time. Her and her mother did it, I believe, with 99% accuracy. Wow. So Daniel says it's 99% that she did something. I believe it's that plus 0.9 at a 0.9 percentage for both of you, Daniel. Leslie, get a charger. Get a charger. Tucker's gonna bark if you don't. Get a charger. Okay, Deb. Oh God, I'm scared to look. Let's see. Oh my Lord. Okay. All right, guys. Hold on. We have. Let's see here. This is interesting. Okay. All right, guys. What? All right, guys. 1 second. We have a sponsor. 1 second, please. All right. The following is a sponsor. This is Ladders Are Us. Ladders Are Us. That is sponsoring today's video. This is not real, but just amuse me for a minute. This is brought to you by Ladders Are Us. If you add Martell Crystal into your discount code, you will save 10%. Also, if you can also use the coupon code TUKKA, TUKKAH, TUKKA 10, TUKKA 10 for an additional 10% off. This is Superman. Martell uses these ladders. They are built right in Pictou County, and they are adjustable. So if Superman, Tucka, and a witch with a rake uses it, you know you can trust Ladders Are Us. So we would like to thank our fake sponsors of today, Ladders. That's LADDAHS R backwards R us US. Thank you so much, Ladders Are Us, for sponsoring our third sponsor, fake sponsor of the day. All right, back to our regular scheduled program. Don't forget to use that coupon code. Can he reach the drones? Maybe in his head. Maybe in his head. It's adjustable. Yes. And let me tell you something. I use the ladders all the time, and I really enjoy these ladders. It's very good. Handmade in Pictou County. Yeah, handmade, Canadian made. Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention that. If you call right now, you will get a free jar of maple syrup as well. Yes. Now, operators are standing by. Okay. This is about the RCMP that Daniel, or that his girlfriend was telling me. Some of these are Daniel's actual screenshots that she had with him, and some of these is what she's told me. He was mad that they questioned him and said they tried to make him admit to something. He told me the same thing he told to the reporter. You could tell he was irritated, and he was mad at his mom because they were supposed to get his car from the impound that day, but she didn't bring him, so he was mad about that too. He messaged me and told me to pick him up right away, so I did. This was, Daniel's always crashing a car or a car being impounded. It's crazy. We were down a dirt road, and I left my keys in the ignition when we were doing SEXUAL stuff, and my battery died. It was still light outside, and I wanted to get someone to jumpstart it that night. And he grabbed my arm and said, "We will wait until morning." Yes, from him driving and this was another conversation we were having. He says it was impounded for him driving down a one-way street. And I wrote, how the hell does he wreck so many cars? When I was with him and he was driving, he did because he had one bad tire. I said, it's just so weird. He's wrecked like 4 vehicles in the last 8 months. She said he wanted to wait until morning when her car went dead. My dad and husband ended up calling the RCMP and they pinged my phone, but couldn't find my exact location. Now, I find that interesting, right? I find that very interesting because they are right there in Pictou County. I just thought of this. They are right there in Pictou County at the time. And they're just right down the road from the house. And the RCMP, she says, supposedly tried to ping her phone because they were actually searching for her. Her dad and her husband was searching for her. I do know that. And they couldn't find her exact location. I didn't have signal to tell them what was going on, so they almost put out a missing persons report for me. We ended up walking to his neighbors in the morning, and when I drove him, and then I drove him to see Meadow. Janie's got a rake, yes. Hey, no mercy, good to see you. It's Janie on a rake. Yes. She was part of our sponsors today. The person who moved them off the property hasn't been employed yet, Ron, or whoever Ron called after talking to Janie. What do you mean? Well, Daniel drains anything. That's the problem, right? Daniel drains anything, everything. There's nothing left after Martell gets a hold of it. Hold on. One second. Okay. This is weird. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, what do we got here? Psychopaths have no feelings. I wouldn't put it past him to be able to pass a poly. Oh, me either. I thought Dan was okay in the head until he said police had 50 drones flying around to protect him. I mean, as long as you see the light, Linda, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know how really anybody believes him now. And I don't think I think it's that's what I wanted to show you. I think it's induced. If you will. We're going to go to our friend Ninchi True Crime. Ninchi True Crime. I'm going to drop the link if you want to sub up to Ninchi. She covers a lot in the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case. She does really good at, she's good, in my opinion, very good at analysis. She's a friend of mine. We're supposed to do a live together soon. Someone sent this to me. Oh, look at this.
I walk outside to build a fence so tall, the cars are parked and watching me, they speed away. When I step out the door, they take my pics and videos galore. Drones are buzzing high above my place, yet none appear online to show their face. No one sees my mark in the ground, just silent lights without a sound.
Sing it, girl.
It's like Christmas up in the sky, lights of every color shining bright. They flock to watch me every night.
They block me.
Hoping for
He
a
says.
glimpse or a fight. I run so fast, they can't keep up. They chase me through the wasted flush. Every night it's all the same. Do they even know my name?
Daniel says they're watching you.
It's like Christmas up in the sky, lights of every color shining bright. They flock to watch me every night.
50 of them.
Hoping for a glimpse or a fight. In my mind, the drones are friends. Red and white and blue, they blend. Watching out to keep me safe, but who's behind this endless chase? It's like Christmas in the sky, lights of every color burning bright. They flock to watch me every
He does.
night, hoping for a glimpse of fight.
Hold on. Daniel. That's Tucka. But I'm not looking at Tucka. I'm looking at these rocks. That's for you, Daniel. That's for you. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Appreciate you, darling. Appreciate you very much. Love you. Hope you had a great day. Thank you so much, Miss Barbara. Appreciate you very much. What you did to my life. Thank you very much for your support. Do appreciate you. Miss Sassy's bit in the bushes. Miss 9 months satisfaction in the bushes. I love you all. Miss Winnie too. Love you too, darling. I've really got to do a live stream with Remy soon. That's our friend Ninchi True Crime. Make sure you sub up to her. I dropped the link there in the chat. You will love Ninchi. She covers very in-depth to Jack and Lily's case as well. It kind of does, doesn't it? Kind of does. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you all. Did you know when you and Ninchi will be doing a live show? We've got, I need to email her, and we've been talking about it. We just seem to never do it. We got to do it soon. I would love to do a live with Ninchi. We're going to do hopefully a dual live from her channel and my channel. But gifts. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Ooh, God. 1 second. I got to get my charger or my phone's going to die. Okay, let's, I'm literally at 1%. You collé, andale. It's just crazy to me how these people treat their kids, their loved ones. It's beyond anything I've just ever seen. How can someone be that fucking miserable treat their kids like that. It's beyond. It's just crazy. It's nuts. I couldn't treat any human being like that. I don't care if I mean, I don't know. It's disturbing. Um, like you're like, don't get with someone if you don't want stepkids. There are plenty of men and women out there that are the best step parents ever. You know what I mean? Like they're the best step parents ever. It's like most step parents are good or decent. And there's no such thing as anyone being perfect. None of us are perfect. We're all very flawed. But I don't know. It's nuts. Okay. Donna, thank you so much for the 30 clutch jewels. Really, really do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so very much. And thank you for the 10, Donna, as well. Thank you so much for the 10 hearts. Appreciate you very much. Cindy, thank you for the 250 jewels for disco bonds. Thank you so much. And Miss Wendy, thank you for the floating 10 jewel hearts. Appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. And Acadia, thank you for the 250, what was it? The 250 disco, laughing discos. Thank you so much. And Wendy, thank you for the 10 jewels. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Acadia, thank you for the 20 party jewel hats. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. And Miss Sherry, very kind of you. Sent 550 jewels to stay hydrated. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that, my friend. And Leslie, keeping it real. I think her phone died, but thank you so much. The 6 chili jewels. And thank you so much for the 250 laughing discos. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my dear. And I think that's it. The pile of rocks. Hold on, what was that? The pile of rocks is a native thing called in Ush. How do you say? I don't know how you say that. We'll call it an oyster shucker. Thank you, Barbara, for that as well, my dear. Let's see here. I don't think I missed. Oh, Rambling Rose, thank you for the 250 discos. Thank you so much, my dear. And Rambling, thank you for the 250 tapping seal. Thank you so much, my dear. Really appreciate that very, very, very much. Sorry for the technical trouble tonight, guys. It had a little technical trouble a couple times. In Ukshuk. Did I say that right? Right. Who build the calm and why the location? What do they represent? Does anyone know what they represent? Heard there might be a break in the Nancy Guthrie case, but not sure. Let me see here. I'll ask my friend who's local there. Let me text her. Khloe Kardashian is obsessed with watching the Nancy Guthrie case, by the way. Did you know that? I'll see if she gets back to me quickly. I don't know. No, I haven't seen anything in Nancy. There is, I do have a little information about one of Nancy's friends. Allegedly, Tommaso and Annie told people that she wasn't a friend and they wanted her allegedly out of the neighborhood. So we'll look at it. We're having technical difficulties. No worries. I appreciate you. Thank you, Helicopter Mom. Okay, guys. Yeah, I will see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow. And Kimchi, well, I don't know if I have sources everywhere, but I try to make sources wherever I can. If there's something happening, I try to shimmy on in somewhere and try to give you guys good sources. We'll say I've got someone close to Pima County Sheriff's Office. Thank you, Dan. Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you for your honest zero filter coverage, for keeping Jack, Lily, and Jack in our hearts, minds, and prayers. Thank you for being there. Thank you for your support, my friend. I appreciate you very much. I just want Jack and Lily found, man. I know you do too. I know you do too. You're there at every single one of the Jack and Lily, and we just we have to keep their name out there, because this is the thing. Cases spike and they go down, and they might spike again if there's something big in the case or whatever, and there's always little trickle things that come through. And then there are people that just completely give up on them if you're not getting 1,000 people in your chat. But Jack and Lily are still out there. Like they're little. Oh, I can't even think about it without tearing up. Thank you, Tina. They're still, their little bodies are out there somewhere, and like you can't forget that. You can't forget it, and it pisses me off that, I'm sorry. Like I know, and I appreciate every single creator for what they do, because we're all good at, or better at different things. And if Daniel's talking to someone, at least you can point out the inconsistencies. And if because Daniel's not going to talk to someone like me, or deception detective, or anybody that's going to throw some receipts in his face and really challenge him, because I would have his legs on my shoulders, so to speak, by the time I was done with him. And he knows that. He knows that. He'll say, oh, well, it's just because, you're not, I don't respect them, or they're, so. But Daniel knows better. I would talk to him. I would never yell at someone or be sarcastic with them or anything while I'm interviewing them. If you've seen any of the interviews where I've interviewed suspects in the past, I am just as calm as I am talking to you right now, but I will hold their ass to the fire very politely and very professionally. I'm not going to be crazy like I am up here, when I'm reviewing him or whatever, but he will get some receipts. He'll end up slipping the truth. Well, Daniel has, every case that you cover, there's unique aspects of every single case. Every single case. There's something unique about that case. With Jack and Lily's case, I've seen a lot of liars, but I have never seen a Daniel. Look at email before you go. Okay, those piled of rocks indicates presence of humans non-traditional marker. Really? Hmm. Sassy sent me this. I didn't know what that meant. Indicates presence of humans non-traditional marker. I mean, they could have just piled some rocks. I don't know, but that's interesting. And let me tell you something, Brandy's my friend, and if I can keep my cool with Stacy Wanderer, I can keep it with, because Stacy Wanderer, probably Stacy, and now that you say that, like Stacy was a better liar than Daniel. He had no idea. Yeah, he had no idea. I mean, Stacy was a better liar than Daniel. Not going to stop. No, not going to stop for Jack and Lily. I'm glad Belinda got or is getting a new attorney. I'm really glad about that. Actually, I think she's kind of needed that for a long time. Wandra, yeah. I spoke to Stacy Wandra, and I just played it very cool the entire time. And then Josh came up. We were kind of playing good cop, bad cop. And Josh came up and just fucking nailed him at the end. And then Stacy calls me and screams at me and calls me every slur you could think of, and then text me, and then sent me an invoice to pay him for an interview. Yeah, right on that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Josh nailed him, but I got what I wanted out of him, so it worked. Yeah, I think you sent Josh an invoice too. He's pretty delusional, but Stacy would even try to make things believable. Daniel doesn't even try to make things believable. That's the crazy thing. Like, he just spits it out and expects you to believe it. He doesn't even try to make you believe it. He just gives you some poetry, words, what I call him. Let's call it Daniel's poetry. The magic is just lost in the house. And, I put my hand against the car and just said bye. And then Malaya writing, love you, Daniel, with lipstick in the bathroom mirror, he says. And she took my 2 sweaters. That's all she took. Like, Daniel wants to be in a Danielle Steele romance novel when he's in Crackville. Doesn't work that way. It's Daniel's delusions. It is. It's crazy. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. But he'll be someone's bitch real soon. I can't wait. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Love you all. Appreciate you. I think it's coming. I really do. Afternoon all. Sheila, you must be on the other side of our beautiful planet. It is far from afternoon here. It is almost night time. Well, it's past night for a lot of people. It's 11:21 here. But afternoon to you. Love you, darling. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I do appreciate your time. I know you guys have a lot of choices, and you can choose to be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere on the planet. And I really do appreciate you guys for choosing to be here. Thank you, guys. Good night, everyone, and God bless.